This is Blue3 here, and this is my first impressions video of Mordheim, City of the Damned. This is one of the few tabletop games that has been closely translated into game form. I don't count the Dawn of War games as they weren't true to the actual tabletop game itself. Other titles that would be Blood Bowl and, off the top of my head, the War Machine game. It's quite interesting. It's turn-based, as you would expect. Runs very much like the actual rule sets, though it does seem to take well, in my opinion, it's a lot that actually relates very similarly to how the War Machine game itself works. In the same way that you would have focus, each of your characters has a certain amount of actions they can expend in doing things, and it varies from character to character as well as throughout the campaign. I'd expect that you can level them up and they gain access to more actions. I'm not entirely sure, as the game currently doesn't allow for any kind of progress within a campaign at the moment. There is literally just access to the bare bones of what the game is, but it's enough to see quite clearly that it's a lot like the tabletop game, and it looks good, it plays very smoothly. From what I can see, minor camera glitches. I have no control over the actual camera itself. The camera is dictated by what your character is doing, and a few times in this video you'll actually see the camera clipping through things in order, depending on what my characters are actually doing. Quite recently there's been a lot of various games using, or the promise of using, the various Games Workshop IP, and I'm quite glad to see an actual tabletop representation of the games. Titles like Space Marine, Dawn of War, especially the second one, was a bit of a letdown to me due to the reduction of scale. It made it feel far more skirmish than the type of 40k games that I personally have played. From what I see here, this game has everything that Mordheim is in it, and I have seen a lot more than I've actually been able to play in those respects, and wow, this game has a lot of potential. I've always wanted the opportunity to actively play Mordheim, but like all specialist games that have seemingly just been dropped by Games Workshop, it's a bit of a pipe dream. The idea of going down to your local Games Workshop and playing a game of this is not a likely thing. It's less, especially even less if you don't know the people down there. So seeing it translated this accurately into a computer game is quite reassuring. I honestly hope they do it to more games. I wouldn't mind seeing Inquisitor for one amongst here, or Rogue Trader, various games like that would be quite nice to have computer representations, especially if they don't want to support the miniatures. There's no reason they can't outsource the IP and get quality teams like this one to make accurate computer representations. I think as more of this game is actually released to be played, I'm definitely going to have to make at least a small series of this. I think it could be a lot of fun to play, as well as show you guys what actually goes on in the game. Because I know tabletop games is a niche area, but you don't often see games like this pop up for that very reason. But it's a nice break from the current MOBAs and explorative games that seem to be taking games in general by force. It's all a bit out there. It's nice to actually be able to get something like this and enjoy it. My only worry is the matchmaking. I honestly hope that the matchmaking is sensible, because one of the things that can happen in the tabletop of Mordheim is it can snowball pretty hard. If one player within the group of a campaign starts to do really, really well, it's only a matter of time before they generally take over the place. I've had games where players have basically come out of the woodwork, and you do your first round of games, some lucky rolls, some decisive stacking of items, accurate expenditure of experience points and money. Soon you can end up developing god characters, essentially, if action isn't taken to prevent it. And I'm curious, because if you have to have your own close-knit group of friends in order to play the game with, therein lies the problem that you have to have that, or you will not get the Mordheim experience. You won't get to actively play, just as you would down the game workshop. If it's random, which it seems to be, from what I've seen, I can go into a campaign, there won't be any XP gained or shared, I think it just drops me in some random matchup. And that is basically my campaign, is generated from that. I'm hoping that you won't get dropped into games far outside of your league, because when your people die, they are actually gone. You have to hire new people, you have to start from scratch, and you have to basically build yourself back up. And if the matchmaking isn't careful where it puts you, it could just completely destroy your entire group. I mean, all it takes, especially on the online community, it takes one troll to say, hey, I've got an advantage here, I'm gonna kill everything this guy has, do as much damage to it as possible. Like, not just do the scenario, but do the scenario and completely screw this guy. So I'm kind of hoping that there is a little bit of saving grace there, if that is the way that it's done. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. This looks like a lot of fun, and hopefully I'll see you again when more is available. Thank you for listening, and enjoy the rest of the video.
Ah!